to us that just have to be solved. We have to get the kicking game cleaned up. We can't let this happen. And with the blocks and the significant field changes, they're just huge to deal with. So you couple that with with a couple turnovers. I think one of them was really obviously questioned. It was a huge play in the game when we're down there going in and the ball gets tipped up in the air and they catch it and it gets sitting in the neutral zone. I'm pretty sure you guys would know better if you've seen it, but we have to overcome that kind of stuff, and we just don't seem to be able to find the way to do that yet. We believe we're going to be much better than this. Well, the coaches do and the players do, and we feel like we can prove it by the way we're working and the way we're preparing and all. But you got to take it to the game, and we've not got that done, enough in the last couple of weeks here. That's just the Commanders game, this game, were similar in that we just couldn't get out of our own way enough. We got a lot of work to do. I mean, we have to keep believing, and we have to keep proving it. And the young guys that got a chance to play today will be better for it in the long run of it. But we need to get our guys back out there too, and the guys to go to. And so we'll see how we can do next week. We'll start all over again. Yeah. Yeah, it was a big play. Yeah, they were 7 for 8 in the first half, and they were able to get their conversions. We had calls, and you have game plan things that you're trying to get done, and they out executed us in the throwing and catching part of it, and we weren't able to get off the field, and that's why they sustained their drives, and they only had a few in the second half, but that was the issue. I mean, the stat line is. It's an even-looking game. If you would never think the score would be like that by looking at the stat line, and on almost any aspect of it, from run to pass to penalties, you name it. So, inside of that, though, the game is we have to get off the field. We've got to make our plays when we get our chances, and we got to stay away from the extremely big plays that happen. The kick, the punt block, and losing the ball on the interception down there. So those things are so significant that they're factoring into the game.
Obviously, multiple people didn't perform well, but was there any consideration to going with Kenny at all?
Yeah, I was thinking that if there was a reason to do that, but here's the reason why I didn't do that. We need to stay out there and keep practicing. We need to keep practicing. We need the reps. We need the turns. We need to run the system. We need to feel it. We need to see the guys get their opportunities to improve. It's not like a big change. I thought about it, because there was a chance to do that. It's the same thing with Max. I was going to get Max out of there, and I'm fighting with him. He wants to play, but that's normal. But that's not what's necessary. We need to get better and get right. So these are the games that we're working on, and these are the games we have to learn from and grow from, so that we can change the course of the way things are going. And there's nobody in there that doesn't feel like that. And so we're going to go right back at it again. I don't know if that's your word. I think it's hard. Yeah, I think it's been hard. It hasn't been easy. It's been tough to get the big plays in the last couple of weeks, and they give you the easy scores. Even go back to the Commanders game. We exploded a bunch of times in that game, and so it just makes things. All of those other plays you don't have to call in between there. But it's hard, and he cares so much, and it's so important to him to try to come through for everybody else, and he wants to play well and all that. You just have to, in my mind, you have to wash out the ball that gets tipped. That play shouldn't have happened. It should never have been there. And so we throw the ball into a little coverage there. Another time the guy gets the pick. But, you can't make excuses for him. You just got to live with it and grow and see if we can eliminate him. Yeah, I thought he would. He just didn't. We were going to rest him all the way through the week. And he thought, we all thought that was going to make a difference. But as he got down to it on Saturday, he couldn't feel it. He couldn't get right. And so kind of happened with Stokesy too. Stokes, he practiced during the week and got through it, but it just his knee didn't respond well enough to feel like he can go 1,000 miles an hour out here on game day. So, a little wishful thinking, a little, optimism. Relentless optimism, might have caught us a little bit there. And if Brock could have played, he would have. If Stokes could have played, he would have. And we thought that by resting them, it would make a difference, and we didn't get as much out of that as we had hoped.
You guys in there were talking leadership, the importance of it right now more than ever. How confident are you that you're the leaders in the locker room in this game?
No, I have no problem. I have no hesitation in telling you that. There's enough guys that have been around their own places or been around with us, and guys that we know well. That's not the issue. Yeah, just decided to go with the other guys.
Pete, what did you see on the first drive against them? Is that the tone you were trying to set?
Yeah.
And what made it?
Yeah, I think it was 2nd and 3, and we got sacked, and we got knocked out of, and then we wind up 3rd and 12 or something like that. It was just unfortunate. I don't know about the play in particular, why we cut. We didn't really cut a guy loose. We got covered up a little bit, and he had to hold it, and then it worked against us. Unfortunately, that would have been obviously a great drive to consummate that. I don't know. It must have been 7 or 8 minutes or 8 or 9 minutes or whatever it was. It was perfect, really. And then we get a big play and get knocked out. So 3 points was all it was. Which at the time you think, okay, we moved football. And we felt good about it, and it was a very good opening drive. But then you look at it took a long time to ever get another point.
What kind of conversations do you and the coaching staff have with Gino now moving forward?
Just we're all in this thing together, and it's we talk through all of the hard conversations about things we might not agree with, and then the things we agree with, and we'll just put it together and just keep working. The intention and the purpose is connected, and we just have to get the results that comes out of that, and make sure we're making clear decisions, the right ones, the right choices, working with particularly the experienced players, the guys that have an opinion and they know a lot, and G's one of those guys. I'm processing it poorly. I'll tell you the truth, because I did expect to win right out of the chutes, but what I'm seeing and what I'm feeling is I know by the way we're working, because I've watched a lot of teams work and develop your system, your belief in it, and knowing who you can count on and who you can trust and all of that. That is ongoing, and it feels like we're going in a good direction in that sense. It's not showing up here. Don't forget last week we had the winning drive. We go down the field, kick field goal, win the game. Okay, that was last week. It was 1 point. It feels like a million miles away from that. But that was that week. And then this week is a whole different situation. And this was the result was very similar to the Commanders game. So hoping we go back home, we play right again, and we get a game going and get moving. It's going to start sometime, and then I'm just kind of waiting for that moment where we kick it in, we have the answers, we make the right choices, we make the right plays, the right calls. It's on us, all of us. It's not on the players. It's on all of us to get that right. Myself totally included in all of that. And then we go. And that's how I've always seen it. And I thought it would be last week at home. I thought that we'd go on the road and we're going to get done this week. And I'm going to keep thinking that way. I told them I'm going to keep believing, and I hope that you guys will do the same thing until we get this thing right. I don't know. I got to talk to the guys about that. I don't know about that. This was just couldn't quite get it done. On Saturday's walkthrough, it was really when he said, I don't have it, So, well, it's day to day. Sorry.